Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you're all doing well. If you want to find out how after 40 weeks I managed to gain weight for the first time ever, then please stay tuned and I will tell you all about it. So for all of you who have been following my Slim World journey so far, I just want to take this opportunity to thank every single one of you who have given me the support, the encouragement, the drive, and the absolute motivation to keep going for the last 40 weeks. Now, as I said, I have had a gain. It's the first gain that I have ever had on my Slim World journey so far, and I will go into that in a little bit more depth in a minute. But what I will just ask is if you are not already a subscriber, if you would mind subscribing. Of course, if you have and do enjoy watching this video or any of my other videos as well, I would really appreciate if you could do that. It really does mean a lot to me and it helps me grow the channel even more. I want to say a massive thank you to all of my viewers, regardless whether you're a subscriber or not. You are all incredibly important to me. Your feedback, your comments, and of course, your advice and sometimes your constructive criticism has definitely helped me get to where I'm at with regards to my YouTube channel and of course my weight loss journey as well. So thank you so much for all of your unwavering support. I cannot tell you how important you all are to me, and I hope that you do enjoy the videos that I do put out. This is also my opportunity to remind you that you can become a member. So if you would like to become a member, there are a few more pieces of information about that on one of my community posts. So please feel free to check that out if it sounds like that may be something you'd like to do. It can be the cost of even less than a coffee these days per month. And you can also pay a little bit more than that should you feel and want some additional support or additional perks of becoming a member of my channel. And thank you so much to my current members. You are all fantastic. You are all on your own weight loss and life journeys, and you are an inspiration to me. So thank you so much. So as I said, the first gain in weight since I joined Slimming World last May on the 25th of May 2023. And what I will say at this point is that I do apologise for my reduced content over the last few weeks. I'm still not 100%, as you may be able to hear from my voice. I've not been feeling very well. I have been working full time and doing very little other than that. My husband James, of course, edits my videos, and unfortunately he has been really run down with the illness that I have just got over. And so today is the first day where he has felt well enough to actually sit up after work rather than lie down and sleep in bed. So we haven't been a very well couple over the last while, and so that has impacted upon the amount of content we've put out. But it is the new beginning of more content, and of course, what else better to break up the content with again? So let's get into it and I will tell you all about my week so far. So obviously this video is a bit delayed in taking place. So it's currently Wednesday evening, Wednesday the 13th of March 2024. And I normally would film this on Saturday because that is when my weigh-in day takes place. However, as I said, I haven't been well. James has been like a zombie over the last few days and he has really struggled, to be honest, which is not like him because he doesn't get unwell very often at all. However, here we are, this is what we're facing, this is what we've been given, and we move on. So what I will just say is that when I stepped on the scales, I did actually think that I would have had a good loss, actually. So at my most recent weigh-in, not including the one I'm speaking about just now, I had lost 5 stone, 5.5 pounds. Now, in my mind, I thought, I actually wonder if I could get my 5.5 stone this week. And of course, to my disappointment initially, I stood on the scales and I had a gain. Now, the gain was a small gain, and over the course of 40 weeks, as I said, a gain of £1 is not anything to be worried about, to be ashamed about, to be disappointed with, or to be otherwise annoyed or disengaged from Summer World. It isn't a reason to go off plan. It's not a reason to change what I'm doing, and it's not a reason for any of you at home to think any differently about your weight losses or weight gains either, because at the end of the day, we are human. We have lives and we have things that matter a lot to us, that we enjoy and that we do. Now, what I will say is that I did speak about going out for dinner with work in my most recent video, or the previous video to this, but that didn't have an impact upon my weight loss last week. And so I did lose weight. Of course, you'll know that if you've watched the video. However, over the last week, and I know we're sort of into the next again week, week 41 we're currently on, but I know I'm recording this for week 40. And what I will say is that even though I was unwell, I was really eating very well. I wasn't doing anything differently. And what I will say is that I actually ate more speed food than usual because I was filling up on soups. I was having sort of like Bovril drinks and things like that as well, which are free on Slimming World to help soothe my throat. I've been having a lot of herbal teas, mint tea, also some green tea as well, which I have spoken about in a previous video. And I absolutely love that we have a coffee machine in the house now. And I have enjoyed an espresso on a few occasions, which of course has no calories. But I did feel I needed the caffeine at times over the last sort of wee while there, and it did work, which was great. Now, we do use our coffee machine mostly on weekends, just because I like to have time to make a coffee. We do have the sort of milk frothing adjustment on the side as well. So we have invested a little bit of time in getting it right. And so I have really enjoyed that after weigh-in on a Saturday over the last couple of weeks, which I hadn't let yourselves know about. However, it's all been weighed out. Everything has been accounted for. I haven't done anything differently. And if you are a follower, a subscriber, a viewer of my channel, you will know that I am very much on it, and I do a lot of exercise. I go to the gym, I go out walking my dog, I'm very active at work, and outside of work as well. I often don't sit down till 10 or 11 o'clock at night because I'm usually so busy. So, of course, to stand on the scales, expect to get my 5.5 stone award and to have gained a pound. Honestly, I was really, really disappointed at the time. I really was. I'm not going to hide that from yourselves, but at the end of the day, I was shocked, I think more than anything, that I didn't lose. And I knew this day would come one day. You know, we all gain weight at certain times for certain reasons, but it was an undeserved gain. um, I've no idea why that happened. It's just a little bit disappointing. But at the end of the day, over the last few weeks, I've lost 4.5 pounds, 1.5 pounds, half a pound, and then of course I gained a pound. But we're still at a 5 stone, 4.5 pounds loss at the moment. And I got into my car after weigh-in. I didn't stay to group because my husband had to work early, and so I got weighed at 7:30 in the morning, and I literally went straight back home again so James could leave to go to work. We're like two passing ships in the night, and of course he hasn't been feeling very well. We hadn't been sleeping very well, and so I actually did just want to go home after I got weighed. Anyway, regardless if James was working or not. Plus, of course, after I got weighed, I was shocked, a wee bit disappointed as well, and it was a different consultant who was there this week because my own consultant was off having an operation on her hand, and that was a planned operation. So she's not going to be there for a few weeks, and so I also felt like if my own consultant was there, I may have spoken with her about my gain, but I didn't have that rapport with the consultant who was just looking after the group for the day. So again, like I said, it felt right for me just to go home, and I went home. I let my husband know about it when he was available just to discuss what had happened, because he always likes to know how I get on, of course. And I told him that I'd had a gain. So right away, as always, James was so supportive. He told me not to worry. He told me that it was the first gain in 40 weeks, which is just absolutely phenomenal. And I shouldn't be disappointed. And actually, you know what? I shouldn't be disappointed. And I very much at that moment made a decision and I made a plan to shut it down in my head and move on, because you know what, life is too short. And at the same time, for yourselves at home, a lot of you say that I'm an inspiration to you. You are an inspiration to me, and some weeks you have gains and they're completely undeserved gains. Some weeks you have losses that are surprising losses. But you know what? You all share your weight loss journey with me just as much as I share my weight loss journey with you. And on the flip side of that, I also need to ensure that I am promoting healthy weight loss. And so that does include gains, it does include losses, and it does include eating a normal lifestyle balance within your day to day, so that when we do have things come up that mean a lot to us and things that we want to enjoy, then we need to enjoy them. We cannot be putting blocks and barriers in front of ourselves to step over them and to make it even more difficult to get to our weight loss journey by depriving ourselves of things that we really like and we really enjoy. Now, of course, moderation is key. I have had to change my mindset a lot. I've had to struggle with my own eating disorders, which are related to binge eating, overeating, absolutely gorging upon several breakfasts, 2 dinners, snacks throughout the day, eating whatever I wanted whenever I wanted. And that just is not good. And so I have made huge changes in the last 40 weeks. And if it equates to £1 gain, you know what? I'm okay with that. And I think that you should be okay when you have a gain as well. Now, these are things that can affect people in different ways. And I know that having a gain can impact upon us. But the important thing to remember is that you matter and your own journey is your own journey. We should not be comparing it to anyone else's. I certainly always recommend that you should not compare yourselves to what I'm doing, because at the end of the day, my journey is my own being. So I would not recommend that you do everything I do, just as much as what you eat and do might not suit me. But we have to find a balance that suits us and suits our lifestyle, suits our budget, suits our work life, suits our family life. And finding a balance in all of that in the middle of it all is really, really hard. But I have worked so hard upon my own mental health over the last 40 weeks that I am here today to tell you that I am on it as always, usual, back to business. And yes, I was disappointed for the first time actually, but we've moved on, and I definitely have moved on. A few things I will say this week that I've tried, which I've really enjoyed, is the as a recipe which some of you may be interested in. But essentially all it is a jar of the char grilled peppers, which you can buy in Tesco's and Asda's. You're going to add them into a pot or a blending bowl, and you can use a stick blender or you can use like a NutriBullet or a Ninja blender. We do have a Ninja blender, but I was only making a small amount of the sauce that I'm going to talk about, and so I didn't want to mess up the full thing, and I just used a stick blender and it worked out great. So basically what it is a pasta sauce, but you could also make it into a toast topping as well. Now, I came across this recipe on Instagram, so I'm not taking responsibility for the recipe, but it's also very widely known and shared online. It's not just one person who made it up. But basically what it is, like I said, a jar of the roasted char grilled red peppers. You could also roast your own as well if you want to do that, but using a jar is obviously sin-free. They are speed food as well. They have an excellent taste and smell. They're delicious. So you're going to add your jar of peppers into your dish. You're then going to add in a few cloves of garlic. I like garlic, so I added in 3 cloves, but again, it depends upon your taste. Plenty of salt and vinegar, salt and pepper, not salt and vinegar, salt and pepper, and use the best salt that you can get. So we use the Maldon rock salt, sea salt, and we also use a really good pepper that we grind freshly into our food as well. And you're also going to add in some feta cheese to this mix as well. And I used the lighter version of feta cheese as a healthy extra, which I think worked out about 70 grams from memory. Don't quote me on that, but it's definitely worth checking out on your in your book. I should actually look at my book because I've got it in front of me right now, which may be helpful. So yes, it's 65 grams. So 65 grams of reduced fat feta or Greek style salad cheese you can add into your mix with your peppers, your garlic cloves, and also just a touch of water. Now, my advice to you would be to blend it up without water first and then gradually add in maybe like a spoon of water just to get that really nice consistency. And after that, all you need to do is heat it up in a pan, stir in your pasta if you want to make it into a pasta dish. You could also put it in pasta and put it in the oven. You could put some extra cheese on top to make it into a pasta bake. Or the other recipe that I saw is using the sauce, stirring it in with some cannellini or some butter beans as well. So stirring the beans through the sauce and then topping some really nice bread or some pitas and things like that with it as well, which is and does sound delicious. What I can recommend though is the sauce without the beans if you don't want to add them in. It did taste like red pepper hummus if you like that. And again, it may be good to use as a dip that you can make quite thick if you did want to use it as a dip with crudites like carrots, peppers, all of these different things that we enjoy in the house, cucumber if that's your thing. There are so many things that we can try, and again, it is sin free. So full of speed food regards our peppers and our garlic, and of course we've got our healthy extra A, one of our healthy extra A choices in there as well. And as I said, a dash of water. The thing to be careful about is not to make the sauce too thin, otherwise it will just be like a bit of a soup, which if you want to do that, that's fine. But make it a little bit thicker so it's a nicer sauce. I have also enjoyed the vegetable couscous from Tesco's, which is the roasted vegetable couscous version, and it is 2 sins per pack. Now it equates to 400 calories per pack, but personally for me, I like to use half of it, so it's 200 calories, it's 1 sin, and what I like to do is stir lots of vegetables into it, so onion, carrots. If I've maybe got anything extra in the fridge, like courgettes or something, I'll fry them all off and fry light just to get that little bit of flavour in them. Stir it in with the couscous, take it to work. Sometimes if I've got any like feta cheese left, I'll put some feta in with it as well and a dash of lemon juice. So it's a really light, fresh, healthy way to fill up on your couscous, but also getting your extra speed veg in there as well. And of course, you could put in some things like grated apple, grated carrots, etc. It's completely up to you what you do with it. And tonight we have had stuffed peppers. So again, using another sachet of our roasted vegetable couscous from Tesco's, I stirred in the extra lean beef mince. I also stirred in some chopped tomatoes, so about half a tin's worth of chopped tomatoes, some ras el hanout, some cumin, coriander, chili powder, and aromat seasoning, as well as our salt and pepper. Filled up our pepper halves with the mix, and I then topped it with some mozzarella, of course, using a healthy extra A choice, and I then put it in my air fryer. Now, it was a delicious, filling, very speedy dinner, which is full of all of the healthy things that we would love to enjoy, and myself and my husband really, really liked it tonight. So again, I'm hopeful that eating lots of speed food as usual, but more so trying to emphasize it this week will help me lose this on the scales this weekend when I go back to get weighed. And you can be sure that I will keep you up to date. And as I said, I'm hopeful that myself and James will remain well, continue to get well, and we will have more videos coming for you soon. So thank you so much for your patience, your time, your understanding, and of course, as always, your support. So I shall catch you on the next video. So please do take care, and I will see you soon. Thank you. Bye.